Good morning, everybody. You are listening to K-Talk Radio 1640 AM. This is the show, Utah Home Sweet Home. I am your host, Yoshi Shiraki, and today our very special guest is the very famous Andy McFarland. Andy, thank you so much for joining me.
Oh my goodness, you can't give an intro like that. Very famous. Everybody's sitting there in their cars where they're listening to this going like, I've never heard of this guy.
Everybody's heard of you.
No, nobody's heard of this guy.
Everybody's heard. Every time I talk about Andy McFarland, everybody knows who you are. Like, do you know Andy McFarland? Like, yeah, of course we know Andy McFarland.
Oh man,
Honored.
I'm honored to be here. I'm honored to be here at the Yoshi Shiraki. This is the first for me, Yoshi. Live radio. This is awesome.
This is awesome.
Yeah, we can't edit anything else. Let's do it.
Yeah. Andy's normally got a potty mouth. Just kidding.
Oh man, if something slips out today, we're in trouble. We're in trouble.
Oh man. So Andy McFarland, from what I know, is a flipper, a landlord, a wholesaler, educator, lender. Anything else, Andy?
I don't know. A dad.
A dad?
A husband.
Yes.
A neighbor.
Yes.
A friend, hopefully.
Yeah.
And everything else. But yes, I am some of those things professionally. Yes.
That's right. That's good.
Yeah, we'll get into some of that, I guess.
Yes, absolutely. So Andy kind of made his appearances at the real estate investment clubs. Probably, I haven't been very active myself, so you may have been active and I didn't know it. But there was a time where you were pretty active. I was very active. I was on the board of Salt Lake Real Estate Investing Association, and that's when I really got to know you better, is during that period. But I had heard of you before that because Andy McFarland was the big wholesaler in town.
Oh boy. Wow. Here it goes. Okay.
Right? So as I got to know you, though, you were so much more than a wholesaler, but that was the kind of introduction through the friends that I knew that knew you, said, oh yeah, he's this big time wholesaler, I've gotten deals from him. And so what would you say your dominant activity in real estate is? Is it wholesaling, flipping, landlording, any one that's like the most that you would say takes up the most?
Yeah, and
when
you're saying that stuff, it was interesting because we did meet back then with Salt Lake Real Estate Investors Association and things, and it's been a number of years since I've been active locally.
Yeah.
But I've met a lot of, there's still a lot of the same people doing the stuff, so it's
That's
awesome.
right.
But
That's
I
right.
haven't been around locally in a while, and maybe we can get into that, kind of where I've been and kind of how I've taken my path with that, with kind of some real estate education stuff too.
Yes.
But what I am right now, kind of the same as I was years ago. It's been 18 years now. In fact, recently I gave a talk we had an event called Flip Hacking Live we do every year.
Nice.
And this year, for the first year, we had to do it virtually. But I was compiling my thoughts for that talk, what I wanted to talk about this year, and my mind went back to like 19 years ago, my job when I was a dock worker. I was here in Salt Lake City. I was a dock worker for a company called USF Redaway, and I was just having dreams of being a real estate investor, right? And what all that meant and everything. So I was thinking about that as I was preparing for this talk, and thinking about like what I wanted out of real estate. So maybe we can talk about that. But so what I am now is the same thing I was kind of, progressed into as when I started 18, 19 years ago. I'm a wholesaler, so I have a business that buys and sells a bunch of properties. Wholesale, we retail flip as well. We'll probably get into that. And since then, since I've been able to make a little bit of money from that, I've kept some rental properties as buy and holds. I do some lending in self-directed IRAs. I do some lending outside of self-directed IRAs. Syndications, so just bigger deals. I'm a part of bigger deals with other people just so I can get the advantages that are there, which again, maybe we can talk about some of that stuff and why I do those type of rentals as opposed to some that I just own 100% myself. But yeah, I do all that stuff. I still do all that stuff, right?
That's awesome.
But what I should say is, today, right now in 2020, I have less of an active role in any of those things than I ever had 18 years ago.
Got it.
Or coming up, 18 and 17, and because I had a super huge active role in all that stuff. I've done everything in my business.
Yes.
But now I don't do all of those things actively anymore. From a standpoint of if we want to talk about the different positions in a wholesaling company or retail flipping company, transaction coordination, the marketing, or the web stuff, or answering the phone calls, or going to see the sellers, or and all that stuff. I'm less active in those day-to-day things as I ever was, but I've been there before. I've done all those. So.
That's brilliant. As the English would say, that's brilliant.
That's brilliant.
I love that. Okay, perfect. So you were less active in all those stuff, but you were known, and probably still are. People don't. This is the first time I'm hearing you're less active. But you're known as a master Jedi in wholesaling. Right, like the reputation that Andy McFarland has is...
I've never heard that, but I give you pile it on.
Yeah.
And when I say I'm less active in that stuff, it's meaning the day-to-day activities of it.
Right.
So a lot of times real estate investors, and this was my paradigm 18 years ago, real estate investor did everything. There was no teams of real estate investors. It's like, you do everything. You put out the mailers, you talk to the sellers, you answer the phone calls, you do the transaction court, you do everything, right?
Right.
So, and I did everything. So less active meaning personally now, but my company and my team is more active than they've ever been. We do hundreds of houses a year.
Yeah.
But I just am not personally touching those, and I don't see a lot of those houses, frankly.
Yeah.
I don't see the houses anymore.
That's awesome. Okay, before we part ways, in case you have a dog or know someone else who does have a dog, I wanted to take a quick second to show you the snap leash. The snap leash can literally do so many things, and I'm going to share with you one of the many cool things that it can do. As you can see, the snap leash is designed with 2 swivel hooks, one on each end. This end has a cushion stitched into it to make it comfortable when walking your dog. Now, all you have to do is take this swivel hook, put it into this very first grommet, and now you've got your handle. Okay, so now let's imagine you're at the park and you want to secure your pet quickly, safely, and easily to a park bench, a tree, or a pole because you just want to sit down and relax. Well, all you need to do is take this swivel hook, remove it from the very first grommet, wrap this leash around any size tree or pole or park bench, and put it into the appropriate grommet, and now you have secured your pet quickly, safely, and easily. And when it's time to head home, another great feature about the snap leash is you can simply wrap it around your waist for hands-free walking. Lastly, if you ever accidentally forget your waist bags at home, these grommets make a great place to fasten the waist bags so you never leave home without them. And if you want to see all of the other cool things that the snap leash can do, then please just click on the link below and find out why so many others are falling in love with the snap leash.